going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez. It's time to review The Last Ship, Season 3, Episode 6, titled Dog Day. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 3 minutes to recap and give you the pros, cons, and final score. And finally, we finally got our Nathan James crew back, man. Mike Slattery, Diaz, everyone. We finally got them back, man. It's been 6 episodes to get them. 6 damn episodes, but we finally did it. Man, this is an action-packed episode, and I've been waiting for one of these very much. I love The Last Ship season. I think still Season 2 is my favorite episode, man. But I've been with The Last Ship ever since the first premiere. And, we've seen so much go on with Season 1, to Season 2. Season 1, finding why the virus is happening. Season 2, actually making a cure and finding the cure. And then Season 3 now is like, oh shit, like China and them are war and upcoming war and rebuilding America. So I'm liking where we're going so far, and hopefully the show will continue for many more seasons. But this episode, man, this action-packed episode, there are a few problems with it, but overall it is a very fun episode, definitely, for sure. And Eric Dane gets some moments to shine, and it's great to see brothers in arms back again, Mike Slattery and Tom Chandler. So let's get right on to it. Let's get to the recap. And real quick, how awesome would it be for Tex to be back? And I've mentioned this a lot in my reviews, and some people, one person said, Tex is supposed to come back. But imagine Tex, he's a fan favorite character. He's the Daryl Dixon of the show, basically. And he's just kind of there, like if he was with Tom Chandler and everything, he'd be a badass, like Takahaya. And, he'd be like, just kicking Takahaya's ass, with Wolf, and they'd be having jokes and everything. And, it would hit more close to home, like just, with what happened to Cruz. And just, I just wish Tex was there so much. I want Tex to come back. I'm still waiting for him to come back. There's rumors, how Dr. Scott supposedly died, but they never showed the body or so. What happens if she's alive? What happens if she's alive? Maybe. Because if Tex found out that Dr. Scott died, he would have came back. He would have done something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a way. Anyway, on to the recap. I'm sorry it took so long. I'll try to do this fast. Takahaya has his prisoners working, and I'm sorry, I forgot the girl's name. She's part of the team of Mike Slattery's team, but this girl ends up doing these wires, and she actually does this signal where Nathan James picks up the signal, and with Takahaya, she ends up going back to the camp, and she's right in front of Takahaya's wife, and she's pregnant, she's sick, she's not supposed to be lifting, she's not even supposed to be out of bed, and she's like, oh please, I got lost, maybe she should do that. Please, let me just help you. I just kind of got lost, something like that, a little bit more believable. The thing is, Takahaya came, and Takahaya's wife was took a minute to she was was she helping you? And just ding, 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 a timer or something, and it took 40 seconds just for her to be yeah, she's I was bullshit. I was if I was Takahaya, I would have been we don't have all day. Are you gonna answer? I mean, did it's a yes or a no, really? But still, I was damn, she's taking forever to talk. Say yes, man, just say yes. Anyway, that's out of that team. So the team is on the ground. Tom Chandler and the team. Prisoners are under the floor because they're finally in the camp. The camp is abandoned. And, it turns out that Miller, and I forgot the other guy's name. He's a really good actor. He was in The Americans, but he's the guy that the glasses broke. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. I know, I'm bad about that. So they're under the floor, and, they see the blood, and they see, where the team was, and they end up leaving. There's this reporter with the president, and there's this fight that goes on, and we actually have 2 soldiers of Tom Chandler's team end up dead. So that was sucky about that, because they got shot in the neck. Where's the gun coming from? There's no heat signatures. Well, they're actually in the tunnels, the bad guys. So Master Chief is very weak. He can barely walk, and Diaz ends up finding Tom because they end up escaping, or Diaz ends up running. He finds Tom Chandler, and there's this big fight that goes on, and they end up attacking Takahaya's people. That's where we get Mike, we get Master Chief, we get all of them back, we rescue them. But Cruz ended up paying the price, dude. Cruz ends up dying. And I never thought about it. Dude, I was these people, it's a show, but you would think Cruz is not a main character. He was a side character, but he's not he's not a main, he wasn't hours of dialogue in the show or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? But when I saw Cruz lying there bleeding, I was I instantly burst into tears. I don't know, I never hated Cruz or never disliked him. I really liked Cruz, but it's not like he was like, you think you're like, this person dies or whatever, man. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like, he's just a character or whatever. No, you spend hours watching this show, week after week and after week, you get attached to the characters instantly, and I can't snap with this one. But when Cruz was on the ground, I literally, I couldn't, and the way that Danny was looking at him, he was like, you're not gonna die, man. Like, when you say you're not gonna die, you're gonna die. But it's goddamn Cruz. It was sad. It was very well acted out, very well written. I kind of wish they didn't have to kill him off, because like last week he survived that minefield with Wolf. Like, they just totally survived that, and then you kill him off the next week. But still, very, very well done, you guys at TNT and the writing crew, for making me cry. Thank you for making me cry again. So the Chinese is on the ground. There's more fighting going on, and there are a bunch of bombs. Takahaya ends up being wounded by one of the gunshots, and he has Miller hostage. And Tom and all them are there, and we find out that Takahaya's wife ends up coming out, and she's like, "Please stop!" And she makes Takahaya not kill Miller, and he puts the gun down, and basically now they're prisoner for now. They're basically the prisoners. So Takahaya and his wife end up going back on the Nathan James. So is everybody. At the end of the episode, Mike Slattery's just sitting on the chopper, on the ship already, and he's just kind of like, I'm back home. I'm back on the baby. I'm back on the Nathan James. So it's a good ending, man. I really enjoyed this episode a lot, like I said. So let me give you the pros and then get to the cons. First off, on the pros, again, like I said, the action, because The Last Ship has a very interesting action dynamic. It's not the greatest action in the world, but it's very entertaining in the way that they do it. It's very it's watchable. It's fun how they end up doing it, and it's very intense, especially hand-to-hand combat. But I'm very excited with this action that they did, and the bomb and what's her name, Sasha. She's even helping out. She has she's kicking ass. They're taking them down, and especially the effects. Like, I didn't expect to see somebody get shot through the throat, and there was 3 people that got shot through the throat. They apparently like shooting in the throat. It was intense, and it was very brutal of this episode, and I love that. And Cruz's death again was a very highlight of the episode, where it pissed off, Tom. Of course, you lose a member of your team, you're gonna be pissed, and you're gonna want vengeance, of course. But the way Tom was just like, they were, let's get these, let's just kill them, let's get it over with. It sucks. You're losing a brother, you're losing a family member, and everybody's back together. It's great to see finally all of them back on the boat. We could finally move on. We have half of the season left. Let's move on to another storyline. We still got to deal with Ping, and we got to deal with all this, but we finally rescued the team. That's part 1 of season 3. Now it's time to get on to part 2, act 2, if you will. So very excited for that. The effects and the chopper, because that looked real. The chopper, the way they filmed it, it looks like they actually were on a chopper, and I didn't see no actual green screen. It actually looked like it was kind of like the actors were on a chopper, and it looks like they were doing it. They may have been a green screen in the back or something. I don't know, but to me, it looked like they actually used a real chopper going around and doing fake rounds and stuff like that. They had CGI in later, I guess, but it did look like there was a real chopper. If it was, awesome. Kudos to you guys, man, and the cast and crew. The killing Takahaya's right-hand man, again, I forgot that guy's name. He's the guy that got the glasses at the end. He killed him with the scissors, and that was very intense. The way that he died was very brutal. Not, but it's still something, man. The way he looked, and he's like, shit, I killed him, that's it, man. You took the guy's life. Going to hell. No, I'm just kidding. You did it out of self-defense. But it very was much intense, man. That's what I like about this episode, is that it takes a few breathers, but most of it was just action after action after action. Go into this sector, rescue the team, and then we have to go rescue the other 2 members, and then all of a sudden the Chinese CIA people come in, and it was a lot to digest, but it was still fun. And even to see Takahaya kind of get back, and it's kind of really, some of you would get shot easily. You're easily in the open. But it worked out very well. They're hiding in that hut. It's made out of wood. All they have to do is shoot. They just have to shoot the hut, and you'd be dead. There's no protection behind there. That's all you have to do is shoot the wood, and they'd be dead. But it's a show, Anyway, the cons about this episode that I didn't like, and I've said this before, after weeks. Also, well, first, the reporter. I'm tired of this reporter. I'm tired of seeing him and the president. Like, I understand the political side of the show. I understand. But, you know, it's part of the show. It's part of the world that they're part, on. But the president scenes, not all of them, but most of the president scenes bore me. Because, you know, you have that hot MILF coming in, you know, his secretary or whatever, that's like, they're in a relationship and like, you know what I mean? Like she's holding his hand. I'm like, please don't do that. Why does the president need to have like some sort of love, you know, there and, you know, stuff like that. Just a little president stuff. And as well, what they did with Danny's wife, like Danny's wife is now like, I guess also a secretary, and she's like doing all the meetings and stuff for the president and like talking to the reporter and stuff like that. Why? She should have. She had a baby, of course, so they had to, of course. But man, like I really miss her back on the battlefield. Like she was really cool being back on the Nathan James, and they made her do this. You know, like really, you could have had her back doing something, or at least not working for the president, doing something else. But that's just me. That's just me, guys. My personal opinion. It's fine that she's doing, but I just feel like they downgraded her role. She's just kind of like, you know, I'm pretty sure the actress missed going back into combat and filming those scenes instead of just walking around, straight hair, you know. I'm pretty sure it got a little boring than not just walking around shooting and doing things. And last thing, some of the editing. I know some of you, I mean, it's okay if you don't care, but I just want to point out, it's not a big deal, but some of the editing in here is very weird on how, like, they throw smoke and then, like, the way that they edit, you could tell, like, alright, let's stop, set up, action. Like, you could tell different positions, different... It's little things like that. Like, there's some things with the editing, how... It's like a thing, like, someone's drinking something, and then it just goes to the next shot, like, a second later, and they're not drinking the beer. Like, it's, like, on the table. You know what I mean? Like, different shots, like, they stopped and took a break and then filmed or set up and like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have continuity on how they did the smoke grenades and stuff like that. It's a very small little thing like that. If you don't care about that, it's fine. But personally for my review, just gonna say some of the editing with the action at times, you know, it was a little shaky camera, or it was, sometimes, you know, it's just, and they're shooting, and I mean, it's still entertaining, but it's, you know, I wish they could have done the action just a tidbit different, the way they direct it, the way they actually film it. Maybe do a one whole shot and try to do it through the battlefield. That would be really awesome. I'd really like to see that. But overall, I'm going to end up giving this last ship episode a B+. Thought it was a really good episode, man. Definitely fun, definitely entertaining. Again, I wish Tex was there. Imagine if Tex was in this episode. It would be very badass. So comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about the last ship. Love to hear what you guys thought. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like, share with your friends, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, bye-bye.